everyone. It is Isis Augustino back with Phosphor magazine, and today my beautiful guest is NERIAH.
Hi guys.
Thank you so much for taking the time to sit down with me today.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
I figured we would start this off with something a bit fun.
Okay.
So I'm going to say a word, and I want you to tell me the first thing that pops into your head.
Okay.
Elephant?
Banana.
Mm, Elephant? Where do you get banana from elephant?
I have no idea. That was just the first thing.
Fair enough. Carousel.
I don't know why I'm thinking horses.
That's fair. Carousel horses.
Yeah.
I respect it. Flamingo.
Pink.
Also fair answer. And finally, candy corn.
Candy lane.
Did they even have candy corn in Candyland?
I don't think so, but my mind works
They
in weird
should have.
ways. That's the artist songwriter in me. It's just
I
jumps all over the
respect
place.
it. I respect it. So now going talking some as you just said, the songwriter, and you going into a bit of your music career. I was wondering what really, because I feel like the answer I get is always so different from everyone I talk to.
Mhm.
What piqued your interest in music, and what kind of pushed you to pursue it career-wise?
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, I think for me, like what pushed me, I mean, I wrote my first song when I was 5, and I remember it was right after my parents
Ooh,
got divorced, and it was always just like this therapeutic lane for me, and it would help me just whatever I was going through, just writing about it would somehow just make me feel better. And I remember being little and going through my first breakup, and I would blast Kobe Kaye and like Sarah Bareilles, and I would just, the songs would genuinely make me feel better. So I started writing myself and just writing, and it was such a different world. So I think even now, like, being able to continue doing that obviously helps, and just having an amazing community around me that getting messages like this song changed my life, or this song helped me go through a breakup, like texting me, like, I'm very, very interactive and close with all my fans. They call themselves the Noodles, and we talk all the time, and they'll be like, oh, I'm going through this breakup, like, can you help me out? Like, which song? So I think that really inspires me to keep going, and it's one of my favorite things.
first I got out. I love that they are called the Noodles. That's
Yes.
amazing. How'd that name come about?
I have an obsession with cup of noodles and ramen. I could eat it every
Fair.
day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Like, I would choose it over the nicest restaurant any day. And I think they saw how much I was posting noodles, and that I mean, everyone in my life knows I'm obsessed with them. And so one day someone was just like, hey, like, what if we call your fandom the Noodles? And I was like, I'm so down.
I love that. Ironically enough, I had a cup of noodles for dinner last night.
Oh, they're so good.
They are apparently, fate was just like, you're interviewing Mariah tomorrow, you need to
Exactly.
eat noodles.
The world just knew, you just,
Yeah. What were some of your favorite artists to kind of listen to growing up, and how do you feel like they kind of influenced the music you make today?
yeah, Kobe Kaye, Sarah Bareilles, Adele. I was such an Adele fan. And I think that definitely probably had some influence on like what I write about, because it's mostly boys and breakups.
Yeah.
So I think that probably had something to do with it. And then I really just like the Eagles, I would listen to a lot because it's my dad's favorite band. And I would just listen to a bunch of different stuff, which is cool because I kind of got introduced to different kinds of music, which I think now relates to me, because even though I'm primarily pop and singer-songwriter, I don't really like to always consider myself just one genre, because I'm very open to trying new things. And, as long as the songwriting's there and the story, I think for me, it's all, whatever game it is, like we can write anything. So I think that definitely had an influence, and just appreciating different kinds of music, I think is really important. Even now, like if you go on my liked songs and you shuffle them, like you will, who knows what you're gonna hear, like it'll be so different. So yeah, I think just being able to be open to like different genres and different songs and artists has been really cool.
Well, now I gotta ask, what's the most random genre you think is on your playlist that people wouldn't expect?
Hmm. I have some like French songs. My best friend is so funny. She she loves to just listen to French songs. And so and I don't understand anything that they're saying, but they're just like beautiful songs and like the way they're composed. And so sometimes we'll just like get ready together and we'll like sit in her bathroom on the floor and just like listen to French music.
Does she listen to, or does she speak French?
No, she's fluent in
Oh,
Spanish
so
and I used to
neither of you know what's being said.
no, we've no idea.
I feel that with Japanese anime intros or whatever, really
Oh, I
these
know.
songs are so cool. I have
I
no idea
know.
what you're saying, but
I
I
know.
like it.
I know. I'm like, don't know, don't care. Like, it's cool.
It's a vibe. Um, if you were a natural disaster, which natural disaster do you think you would be and why?
Hmm. I would probably uh, maybe an earthquake because I don't know. I feel like my emotions sometimes will just get the best of me and come out of nowhere.
And that's fair. And as females, we always have lovely emotion changes every month.
Exactly. So,
Be like, oop, it's the NERIAH earthquake again.
yeah.
It's that
Oh, it's
time of month.
coming. Lots of songs.
um, if you were to create a fictional movie based on your life, what would the plot line be? And who would star as you in the movie?
Oh, that's such a question. Um, Oh my gosh, that's such a hard question. Plot line would I think definitely be about, I think a girl that learns how to find herself through many different relationships and things in life and experiences, and also learning that it's okay to not always know where we're going and to be okay, and that we're going to keep learning, and you're going to mess up and you're going to make mistakes, but it's all part of the process. And also just I think a big part of it, just really, if there's something that you love, like you have to stay driven and keep hardworking and keep trying for it. And as for who would star it, oh my gosh, I don't know.
That's always the
Um,
hardest question. Who would be you in a movie? See,
oh
me personally, I would go with Ryan Reynolds, even though he's not a girl, only because I think he is hilarious and he would make any movie funny.
yeah, see, Margot Robbie is my favorite, so I'd have to probably go with her, and she'd have to dye her hair brown.
And there you go.
Yeah,
And isn't Margot Robbie British?
I think she is. Yeah, I feel like in a
Yeah.
lot of ones, yeah, I have just the new Barbie movie just came out too. I don't know if I think she does accents so many times that I don't know. But
Eh,
yes,
we will never know
never
where
know.
Margot Robbie is actually from.
Exactly.
Um, so, right now you are getting ready to put out a new album.
Mhm.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Um, and up to this point, you recently released an EP this year as well,
Mhm.
which is great. You're making
Thank
all the moves.
thank you.
Um, I feel like every musician kind of has a different way of approaching the creation process when it
Mhm.
comes to their music. What does your process look like from the beginning stages to the final stages?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really different every song, I think, which is so hard. There's no like standard way that we really do it. But I think, once you have your day one and you write the song, and if it's something that really stands out and I want to keep listening to it over and over, we'll kind of bring it to the next stages, which has been really fun. The album was really cool because I know a lot of people usually write their whole albums and then they start releasing it.
Mm-hmm.
We were still in the process till we still will be in
Oh,
the process till the last single, because I release every month at least one song, and I release so much, and I wanted this project. I mean, it's my first album, and from a first album, 24 songs, it was definitely a lot. And even now,
Yes.
it has, we've planned out everything and we know which songs are going to be there. But I wanted to be able to have, because I'm independent, which is so important to me, like I wanted to be able to have the control and the power that if I wanted to change a song and I'm like, hey, you guys really want this song. If I wanted to change that and make that the next single, I want to be able to do that. So that was something that was really important to me, but the process was really cool. I think, I went through a pretty rough breakup, and that was kind of when I was like, wrote majority of the songs. And um, it was really cool to see like a whole experience come into life in a project. I think, I'm used to doing EPs that are say 6 to 8 songs. So 24 songs, definitely a lot more for me to say, and a lot more about my ex, but it was really cool. We really like sat down, and I think this was the project that I was able to be the most involved with, and really being able to like listen to it every step of the way and decide what feels the most like me. And I'm really excited for people to hear it.
Well, first of all, a 24 track album, that's quite a feat.
Yeah,
I feel like I've heard stories of like, I can't remember what band it was. It had to be like a 30 or 50 track album, and I was like, that should just be in the book of Guinness World Records right there.
I
Like
know.
30, somewhere between 30 and 50. I couldn't remember what it was. Um, but no, that's super exciting, especially it kind of challenges you in a way to kind of, you know,
Exactly.
flesh out a full album. Whereas instead it's like, oh yay, we wrote a single. Yay, here you go. Hey, here's the EP. We have a little bit more, but with the full 24 track album, that's quite a commitment.
Exactly.
Um,
But
and
yeah.
I found it interesting how you were saying how, being an independent artist is very important to you. And because I feel like, everyone has different opinions on the topic.
Mhm.
What do you think are kind of the pros and cons of being independent versus signed, and how does that all work out for
Yeah.
you?
I mean, for me, I think there's a lot of pros. I can't really say that there's a lot of cons from what I've experienced. I think especially, being a girl in the industry and everything when I first started, I remember everyone was like, you're never gonna get on playlists on Spotify, like
Mhm.
you're never gonna break 500,000 monthlies, like it's impossible, like you can't get the cover of anything. And I, kept being told that. And I was like, okay, well, you know what? I don't want to sign. Like, I think for me, it's like I graduated a year early. I went to college. I got a marketing business degree. I did the whole thing. Like, I'm very hands-on in my whole entire career when it comes to the creative process and absolutely everything. And I hustle and I love working hard, and my music and my brand and my career means the most to me. So I honestly, out of a selfishness for me, I was worried that signing to a label, I would lose that. And I like to be sitting there. I choose the order of everything. I choose when these songs come out. And I think something that has been a pro is I have such an amazing team around me that we all really push each other. And my producer that, we do everything just the two, to basically the two of us, he's an absolute genius. And, everyone on the team really believes in the project, which is really nice. I think the biggest pro of being independent is being able to pick. I mean, if I was with a major label, there's no way I would be able to release a song every month. There's just no way.
Yeah.
And there's no way I would be able to, probably drop a 24 track album. But there's also, there's so many things where I was like, I know how to market a brand. I know how to market myself. I went to school for this, and that's another one of my passions. So I was like, let me see what I can do. I think I'm still so new into this. I've only been releasing for a little over a year. And if I'm going to ever sign an upscale to a major or anything, I want to make sure that me and everyone around me knows my brand already. So I'm not being pushed into anything. So I think that was definitely something that was important to me. I think cons, obviously, labels are these huge, huge companies, and they have so many connections and so budget. I think you get access to a bigger budget when it
Oh
comes to
yeah.
video and everything. So obviously that helps. But I think right now my outlook is I'm like, you know what? TikTok is winning the game. And if you can
Uh-huh.
get a song on there, like I think that was like my first EP when we had almost every song go viral. And I was like, my song right now, my biggest song right now just hit 22 million. And, unsigned, I was like, if that felt really good. And we were all so proud of it because we were like, there's no label here. There's no, major, but we just worked hard and we believed in it. And I think for me, I'm like, you don't stop working until it makes sense, until it happens. So we're all very passionate and I really owe it to my team. They're absolutely incredible. And to be able to, work along people that I love so much and that I care about so much and that are so just passionate about the project and believe in me has been really nice. And I think, I owe a lot of that to them.
Well, it was actually funny because I was talking to one of my interviews yesterday. He's been in the music industry for like 30 to 40 years. And so we were talking about the evolution of like, nowadays you have streaming platforms like Spotify, Apple Music, Pandora, you have,
Yeah.
social media outlets and everyone, like, you don't have to rely on other people to push you.
Mm-hmm.
If you're really good at taking well, not advantage of the algorithm,
No, but
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 yeah,
100%.
yeah,
Yeah. It is taking,
yeah,
it's like there was a time
it
I
is.
was posting 30 times a day on TikTok every day.
Oh yeah,
And it worked.
it definitely has because now you can tell all the people that said you wouldn't that you now have over 1.5 million Spotify
Exactly.
listeners. You are going
Exactly.
to be on a cover of a magazine. You get to say all this stuff.
Yeah.
So
Which is amazing. But I think that's something too. It's like I really want to, teach young girls and teach anyone that wants to get in the industry, that, you can do it. Like, yes, there's going to be challenges 100%, but, don't let anyone get in your way. Like, it's possible.
most definitely. Um, and going back to your upcoming album, right? When that comes out, what impression, especially since it's your first big
Mhm.
debut album, what impression do you want it to kind of leave on people and just people when they hear your music for the first time in general?
I think a few things. I think first, especially with the album, I think a main message over the whole entire thing is that sometimes being in the wrong relationship doesn't feel like you're in the wrong relationship. And sometimes you can be in love with the wrong person and totally not know. I'm definitely this hopeless romantic who thinks I'm going to marry every single person I'm with.
I feel
And,
that.
because I'm like, what's the point? I'm not going to waste my time with someone. I've only, I've only ever been with people I've dated and I've had serious relationships like my whole entire life. So I think that's a big thing for me. And also, you're going to move on and sometimes beautiful things can happen when you do. So that was a big thing. I think the album really, focuses on me learning how to fall in love for the first time, which was something that was such a crazy experience and happened while I was writing it. So it was this whole just beautiful story that we were able to kind of get in songs. And I also think another thing that's really important for me to tell everyone and for everyone to know listening to music is how honest and open I am. Um, when you read the lyrics or when you hear the songs, like they're pretty brutally honest, which I think is a good thing. But that's something that I've always kept really important to me as my values, especially as an artist and when I'm writing, because I can't write about something that didn't happen and I have to write about it the exact way it happened. So yeah, I hope people can understand that like they're not alone and that, we all go through the same things and hopefully they will be able to find a song that helps them.
I think that's always so important with artists and stuff too when they're writing music, just kind of because I always feel like the best songs are written that are brutally honest about feelings and based on true emotions. Like, I feel like these days you can write a song about anything and kind of, in some regard, do well. And I feel like it's the songs that are really based on, you
Mhm.
know, emotion and honesty are the ones that kind of stick around, you
No,
know?
it's so true. And it's so funny because my best friend, like from FaceTimes or text messages, I get so many concepts and title ideas from just us like texting or calling. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm gonna write a song
Yeah.
about that. Because it's true, like everyone wants to hear about what's really happening because that's what's really happening for all of us. You know, I do believe that we all go through the same things in different times. And yeah, it's amazing. And it's also that's what helps me, you know, I write first and foremost like for myself. So it's anything I'm writing about that is helping me get through it. So I hope other people can, you know, also benefit from that when they hear it and have it help them with whatever they're going through.
That's always the most important part. If it's helping you, keep on doing it.
Exactly.
Um, and now we have a few more fun questions. Um,
Amazing.
if you were to get stranded on an island with
Okay.
3 other artists, who would be vital for your survival? Who would be planning and executing the escape plan? And who do you think would just wander off aimlessly and get lost in the woods?
Are these people that I would just want to be with me or just like random?
Either or.
Okay, I'm gonna say Julia Michaels because I love her and she's my favorite. She would, I feel like, find her way out because she's a genius. So she'd get
All
us out of
right.
I was just watching the new show, so I'm gonna say The Weeknd. He would probably maybe he'd get stranded there. What was the other one?
It was who would be vital for your survival, who
Oh,
would be planning and executing the escape plan, and who would wander aimlessly and get lost in the woods.
and I'll do Adele, and she would be vital for the survival.
I guess seems pretty trustworthy.
Right? Like I feel like
Yeah.
she could handle it.
She's a straight girl boss. She'd have us all figured out.
Exactly.
If you could write the soundtrack to any movie that currently exists, which one would you choose?
Um, for some reason, Wizard of Oz came up in my head because that used to be my favorite movie. Even though the soundtrack is already perfect. Um, but being a part of that would be cool.
I can see it. But it's funny you say that because when I was in elementary school, we ended up doing a play of the Wizard of Oz.
Oh my
And
God.
so, even as an adult, even though I haven't seen the movie in years, I will just randomly start singing Somewhere Over the Rainbow
Yeah, it's so good. I
instinctively.
love it.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
yeah. And all right, so what in your everyday life, what are some of the pet peeves you have? We all have them, but we don't always say them.
Oh my gosh, I feel like I have such specific pet peeves. One of them, if I'm like getting in the car with somebody and they don't unlock the door and I have to, that's like one of my biggest pet peeves.
Sit and pull until they unlock the door.
Yeah, I'm like, come on, my best friend knows how much it bothers me, and so she jokes with me all the time, but I'll be like, open the door, and like when they get in and then like their side locks and the other one doesn't unlock, and I'm like, guys, let me in. That's definitely a pet peeve. Another pet peeve of mine is like when I'm saying something and they're like, what? And then I like don't repeat it and then they heard it. I'm like, if you heard me, like, why are you asking what? Um, what else? Oh my gosh, I feel like I have so many pet peeves to be honest.
We all do.
I'm trying to think what else, if I have any other ones. Yeah, I think that's it for now that I can think of off the top of my head.
The biggest two. So now everybody knows that if you are getting in the car with them, they should unlock the door.
Yeah, they should open the
And
door.
yeah, and don't say what if they heard what you said.
Exactly.
Perfect. Now everybody knows. Everyone's aware.
Perfect.
All right. So I'm gonna read you a sentence, and I want you to fill in the blanks for me.
Okay.
The most mandatory thing to do during a pool day is blank, but not if the pool is blank.
I'd say tan, but not if the pool is cold. because then you can't jump in.
True. And then you'll be all hot from the sun and you
Right.
won't have a yeah, perfect answer. And then my final question for you is in the remaining of 2023, because we're already in June, which is hard to believe.
Crazy.
We're already almost halfway through June. Man, time flies fast.
I know.
What are you looking forward to in the remainder of the year, both personally and professionally?
Professionally, definitely the album coming out. It's gonna be a blast and it'll be out this year. I feel like it's so funny. Like I don't separate my life like professionally and personally. Like I just feel like
I
I'm
feel that.
living my life every single day. I adore what
Yeah,
I do. But I think, personally being able to, spend more time with the people I love, my friends and family, and just being able to get to know people more. I think, time's so precious. So I really think that that's always really important.
that pretty much wraps up our interview. I want to say a big thanks to NERIAH for
Thank
joining me
you.
today. And you can make sure you check out her social media links in the description below, along with make sure you follow her on Spotify or whatever major music streaming platform you use. And we will definitely see each other again in the future.
Yeah, I would love that. Thank you so much for having me.